Hey, it's me, ExandShadow, and I'm here for a Ramble style review for you. This time it's Mega Man 9. Yeah, 10 was the one recently released, but I decided I'd get 9 first for some really weird reason that I don't even remember anymore. But yeah, I bought 9, played through most of it, and I'm going to give a little Ramble style review as I work on bigger, better things. What did I think of Mega Man 9? I freaking hate this game. Now, is it bad? No, it's not bad. It's just incredibly infuriating. Let me explain. Mega Man 9 is one of the first games that really spawned this retro revival thing that's been going on with all of the games today. People have decided, oh, the past was way better than the present. Screw evolution. Let's just go back and remember everything that happened in the past and completely say fuck you to everybody who didn't happen to grow up in the NES era. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of retro games in general. While there are a few good retro games, it's not a lie that a lot of 8-bit games haven't aged very well, and, well, Mega Man isn't really an exception to that rule. Sure, 1 was okay, 2 was good, 3 was good. I don't know how 4, 5, and 6 really turned out, but I've heard they're meh at best. But the problem with 8-bit games really was that they were technologically incapable of a lot of things. Now, am I against going back to a classic style? Of course not. Of course I'm not against going back to a classic style. When New Super Mario Bros. Came out, I was excited for that game because the old Mario style worked fine. I just find going back to the 8-bit era, 1, a cop-out, and 2, incredibly lazy. Yeah, they could make a perfectly decent-looking Mega Man game that played exactly like the originals in 2.5D or something like that. It could have worked exactly like it and then just not be completely lazy. If you go back and make it 8-bit, that's just a cheap way to get nostalgia points from the game. And that's really, really the lowest way you can go. Sure, nostalgia pleases the fans, but it also knocks everyone else who didn't play the games out. Yeah, I didn't play Mega Man in the NES days because I wasn't born yet. There are lots of gamers who weren't born when Mega Man was really, really popular. Are you just going to say fuck you to them and not let them enjoy the game because it's nostalgia based? There's tons and tons of stuff that they deliberately put into the game that will alienate fans that weren't there from the beginning. For example, the glitches, the sprite glitches. Yeah, sure, you can cut them out, but why would you even bother putting them in there to begin with? It was one of the bad things about the NES. Yeah, sure, it's memorable, but I don't think that's one thing that you want to remember. And there were sound glitches in there too, like for example, the sound would cut out when there was too many sound effects in the music, and the music's one of the very few good things about this game, and they couldn't get that thing to be cut out too. I'm pretty sure that the Wii has a lot more sound channels than the NES. But anyway, I'm getting off topic. But the point is that nostalgia is just a cheap way to get a lot of fans of the game. I would just be a little bit more, what's the word? I'm kind of spacing. I'd be a little bit more forgiving to the game if it weren't just a cheap, blatant nostalgia fest. But if you get onto the game itself, it's really just as frustrating to play. Now, is the game hard? I wouldn't say that it's hard. No, I'd just say that it's incredibly frustrating. Let me explain. Most of the challenge from Mega Man 9 comes from the traps. You know, the instant death things that'll get you on the first try, and then once you figure it out, become incredibly easy. Mega Man 9 is full of those. Now, to be fair, you're going to have at least one of those in nearly every game, and they're just unavoidable. But Mega Man 9 nearly completely relies on those. The first level of Dr. Wily's stage, that was full of tons of instant death traps. The Galaxy's Man stage with the traps, that was frustrating. There were plenty of times when those little green things popped out of holes that I got knocked into them. Those frustrated me. I will hate Jewel Man stage till the end of time for those friggin' swinging platforms and that stupid rock boss. Now, I can handle a challenge, sure, but I want a challenge that I could feasibly get through on my first try. I will again turn to Trauma Center as my beacon of this is how a good challenging game is made. First off, you have multiple difficulty settings so that if you can't beat it, you can cheap out and go down to a lower difficulty setting, and thus you can actually just see the ending. And 2, even on the normal setting, it's hard but still satisfying, and on the hard it's sadistic hard, so people who like that sort of thing can be happy, I guess. But on the normal difficulty setting, it's hard every single time you try to do it. I dare you to try to beat some of the guilt in Trauma Center without, having any trouble at all, even after a few times. But anyway, back to Mega Man. What's good about the game? Well, the music, of course. The music's good, and the level design can be pretty interesting at times. But it's the same thing. It's Mega Man 2.5, not 9. It's 2.5. It's the same thing. It's just a nostalgia fest piece of frustrating game. Now, I'm not going to get 10. I don't want to get another 8-bit game. But the thing is that Mega Man has never evolved, and I didn't expect Mega Man 9 to evolve the formula in any way, but its existence itself is just a reason for it to be looked down upon. I'm not going to be older games all suck. No, I'm not going to be like that. There are plenty of great old games. The Mario old games are good. Excitebike I really like. There are tons of 8-bit games that are good. But if you're going to live in the past, then there's no point in having it be done again. For example, I can't think of a good example, but basically, if you just repeat the past over and over again, you're not getting anything new, and then you might as well just not buy the game. Nostalgia is not a good reason to get a game. Is it a good reason to buy a remix CD? Of course it is. Is it a good reason to watch a animated cutscene with the characters? Of course it is. Is it a good idea to pay money to play the same game you've already done? Of course not. Mega Man 2 is a better game. Mega Man 3 is a better game. I'd even say that the first one's a better game. Mega Man 9 is just frustrating in its game design, in the game itself, in its lack of challenge, but full of annoying traps. I just don't like it. And I know you all are going to disagree with me. I expect that. This video isn't any good anyway, but I just thought that I'd get this off my chest because I'm not a fan of this game. Yeah, but I'm still probably going to play it a few more times too. That's the problem. Yeah, there's going to be more Capcom ranting coming up soon. I'll see you guys later. This is ExandShadow. Bye, everybody. I'm going to go hide in my closet while I wait for the Capcom fanboys to come kill me. Bye now.